Hey coin lovers! Welcome to the Worth Old Coins channel, your place to discover the hidden value and rare facts about old coins. In today's video we're revealing the top 5 valuable coins, and one of them might just be in your collection. So don't skip this video, let's find out their real worth. Top 1. The 20 pence coin was first introduced in the United Kingdom in 1982 as part of an expansion of the decimal coinage system originally launched in 1971. It was created to fill a gap between the 10p and 50p denominations and to improve efficiency in transactions. By 1988, the coin was still relatively new but had become a familiar and practical part of British everyday money. Queen Elizabeth II was in the 36th year of her reign, and the Royal Mint was continuing to refine the modern decimal series with practical, cost-efficient designs. The 1988 issue belongs to the early phase of this denomination, before later portrait and reverse changes. Composition and physical specifications. The 1988 20 pence coin is struck in copper nickel, an alloy consisting of 84% copper and 16% nickel, which gives the coin a silvery appearance and makes it resistant to wear and corrosion. It weighs 5.00 grams, has a diameter of 21.40 millimeters, and is 1.7 millimeters thick. One of its most distinctive features is its equilateral heptagonal shape with 7 curved sides. Despite being 7-sided, the design ensures that the coin has a constant width, meaning it works smoothly in vending machines and coin slots. Obverse design. The obverse of the 1988 20p coin carries the third definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II sculpted by Raphael Maclauff. This portrait, introduced in 1985, presents the Queen facing right, wearing the George IV state diadem, the diamond crown traditionally worn for the state opening of Parliament. The effigy is notable for its elegant, idealized depiction, which sought to present the Queen in a timeless and dignified manner. Around the rim appears the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II D.G. Reg. F.O.D. 1988 inch, which expands to Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The artist's initials, RDM, can be found at the base of the neck. Reverse design. The reverse of the 1988 20p coin was designed by the distinguished artist and silversmith William Gardner. At the center appears a Tudor rose, a traditional English heraldic emblem symbolizing the union of the houses of Lancaster and York. Above the rose is a small crown, signifying monarchy and national unity. Around the edge runs the inscription, 20 pence, and directly beneath the rose is the date 1988. This reverse design was used on all 20p coins from their introduction in 1982 until the redesign of the Royal Shield series in 2008. Mintage and production. The Royal Mint struck tens of millions of 20p coins dated 1988 to meet circulation demand. The exact figure exceeds 120 million pieces, meaning that the date is common and was widely used in everyday transactions across Britain. In addition to circulation strikes, the Royal Mint also produced brilliant uncirculated (BU) coins in mint sets and proof versions for collector sets, all struck with higher quality dies to give a sharper and more polished finish, collectability, and value. In circulated condition, the 1988 20p coin is common and worth its face value of 20 pence sterling. However, collectors may pay more for proof coins from 1988 proof sets, which are scarcer and display superior finish. Brilliant uncirculated (BU) coins with full mint luster to high-grade business strikes certified at MS 65 or higher, which can fetch small premiums. Rare minting errors, such as off-center strikes or misstruck blanks, which are unusual and highly collectible. Unlike certain later 20p dates, such as the rare 2008 mule without a date, the 1988 issue does not have famous varieties, so it remains affordable for most collectors. Care and preservation. Copper nickel coins are durable but can tarnish or acquire surface marks after years in circulation. To maintain the condition of a 1988 20p, handle it only by the edges. Avoid cleaning or polishing, which reduces numismatic value, and store it in an inert mylar flip or acrylic capsule. Proof coins especially should be kept in airtight holders to preserve their mirror-like finish. Numismatic importance. The Elizabeth II 20 pence 1988 coin is historically significant because it represents the early phase of the denomination, still using the Raphael Maclauff portrait and the Tudor rose reverse that defined the coin for its first quarter-century. Illustrates the refinement of the decimal coinage system and reflects Britain's continued use of traditional heraldic symbols in modern money. For collectors, building a complete date set of 20p coins, the 1988 example is an essential but affordable piece, providing a snapshot of Britain's coinage in the LATEP 1980s. The 1988 UK 20 pence coin is a copper nickel, 7-sided decimal coin weighing 5.00 g and measuring, featuring Queen Elizabeth II's third portrait obverse by Raphael Maclauf and the Tudor Rose reverse by William Gardner. With a mintage exceeding 120 million, it is common in circulation but desirable in proof or high-grade form. It remains an important representative of the early years of the 20p denomination and a key piece for understanding modern British numismatics. Top 2. The 20p coin, 20p, was first introduced in the United Kingdom in 1982 to close the gap between the 10p and 50p denominations. T quickly became a popular and convenient coin in circulation, saving the need for multiple smaller coins in everyday transactions. By 1987, the coin was still a relatively new denomination in the decimal system, which had been adopted in 1971. Queen Elizabeth II was in the 35th year of her reign, and the Royal Mint at Llantrisant in South Wales was continuing to produce large numbers of the new 20p pieces to ensure their steady supply across Britain. The 1987 issue belongs to the early years of the denomination, before the later changes in obverse portraits and reverse designs. Metal composition and physical specifications. The 1987 20p coin was struck in copper-nickel, an alloy made of 84% copper and 16% nickel, which gives the coin its pale silvery gray appearance and strong durability. Each coin weighs 5.00 grams, has a diameter of 21.40 millimeters, and is approximately 1.7 millimeters thick. One of the most distinctive aspects of the 20p coin is its equilateral heptagonal shape, which has 7 curved sides. Despite being 7-sided, the coin has a constant diameter across its surface, allowing it to function smoothly in coin-operated machines. Obverse design. The obverse of the 1987 coin bears the third official portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by sculptor Raphael Maclauf. This effigy, introduced in 1985, depicts the Queen facing right and wearing the George IV state diadem, a crown decorated with jewels and pearls, traditionally worn for the state opening of Parliament. The portrait was designed to be a more idealized and regal image of the Queen, compared to the youthful Arnold Machin portrait used previously. Surrounding the portrait is the Latin inscription Elizabeth II D.G. Reg. FAD 1987 inch, abbreviated from De Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, which translates as Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Maclauf's initials, RDM, appear at the base of the neck. Reverse design. The reverse of the coin features the original Tudor Rose design created by William Gardner. The center is the heraldic Tudor Rose, a symbol of unity that dates back to the union of the houses of York and Lancaster after the Wars of the Roses. Above the rose rests a small crown, representing monarchy and national authority. The surrounding inscription reads 20p, while the date 1987 appears just below the rose. This reverse design remained unchanged from the coin's introduction in 1982 until 2008, when it was replaced with the Royal Shield design. Mintage and production. The Royal Mint produced tens of millions of 20p coins dated 1987, with official mintage figures exceeding 100 million pieces, making the coin common in circulation. This ensured that the denomination was well supplied for the public and integrated into Britain's currency system. In addition to standard circulation coins, the Royal Mint also struck proof coins for collectors, using polished dies and specially prepared planchets to create sharp detail and mirror-like surfaces. Brilliant uncirculated (BU) versions were also available in collector's mint sets. Collectability and value. Due to the very high mintage, a 1987 20p coin in circulated condition is generally worth only its face value of 20p sterling. However, collector interest increases for proof issues included in the official 1987 proof sets, which are scarcer and valued for their superior finish. Brilliant uncirculated (BU) coins from mint sets, especially those retaining their original luster, high-grade circulation strikes graded MS 65 or higher, which may command small premiums. Minting errors such as off-metal strikes, double strikes, or misaligned dies, which are rare and can bring strong collector demand. Unlike later 20p issues such as the famous undated 2008 mule error, the 1987 issue has no major varieties, but it remains essential in a complete date set of early 20p coins. Preservation and cared. Copper-nickel is a robust alloy, but coins can still tarnish or pick up circulation marks. Collectors should avoid cleaning, which damages the surface and lowers value. Instead, 1987 coins should be stored in dry, inert holders such as mylar flips or acrylic capsules. Proof versions, which have highly polished finishes, are especially sensitive to scratches and fingerprints, so they should be handled carefully and stored in airtight cases. Numismatic significance. The Elizabeth II 20p 1987 coin is significant as part of the early series of 20p issues, still featuring the original Tudor rose reverse and the Maklauf obverse portrait of the Queen. It represents a period when Britain's decimal system had fully matured and the newer denominations like the 20p had become an accepted and practical part of daily commerce. While not rare, the 1987 issue is important to collectors seeking a complete run of pre-2008 20p coins, and it offers insight into the evolving designs of Elizabeth II's reign. The 1987 UK 20p coin is a copper-nickel heptagonal decimal coin weighing 5.00 g and measuring 21.4 mm, featuring Queen Elizabeth II's third portrait obverse by Raphael Maklauf and the Tudor rose reverse by William Gardner. With a mintage exceeding 100 million, it is common in circulation but valued in proof and high-grade forms. T stands as a representative piece of Britain's modern decimal system and the early era of the 20p denomination. Top 3. The 20p coin, 20p, was introduced into the British monetary system in 1982. More than a decade after the United Kingdom adopted decimal currency in 1971, its introduction filled a useful gap between the 10p and 50p denominations, making everyday transactions more convenient. By 1984, only the third year of issue, the 20p coin was still a relatively new addition to British wallets and tills. Queen Elizabeth II was in the 32nd year of her reign, and the Royal Mint was continuing to strike large numbers of the new denomination to support the public's acceptance of the coin. The 1984 issue is considered part of the first generation of 20p coins, struck with the same original designs that would continue until 2008. Composition, weight, and physical features. The 1984 20p coin was struck in copper-nickel and alloy consisting of 84% copper and 16% nickel, giving the coin a bright silver-gray colored IT, has a weight of 5.00 grams, a diameter of 21.40 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.7 millimeters. One of the most notable features is its equilateral heptagonal shape. With 7 curved sides, this unique shape was designed to make the coin instantly recognizable by touch, as well as easy to identify in vending machines. Despite its unusual shape, the coin's diameter remains consistent, ensuring it rolls smoothly in machinery. This innovative approach helped establish the 20p as a distinctive modern coin. The obverse design, Queen Elizabeth II. On the obverse front of the 1984 20p coin is the second definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by sculptor Arnold Machin, OBE, R.A. This effigy had first been introduced in 1968 for decimal coinage and remained in use until 1984. The portrait shows the Queen facing right, wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her most recognizable jewels. The tiara was originally a wedding gift from Queen Mary, her grandmother. Machin's portrait was admired for presenting a youthful yet dignified image of Elizabeth II, reflecting her enduring stability as monarch. Surrounding the portrait is the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II D.G. Reg. F.A.D. 1984, an abbreviation of Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The reverse design, the Tudor rose. The reverse back of the coin carries the design created by William Gardner, which features the heraldic Tudor rose topped by a crown. The Tudor rose is a symbol of unity dating back to the end of the Wars of the Roses in the late 15th century, when the houses of Lancaster, Red Rose, and York, White Rose, were united by marriage. The crowned Tudor rose on the 20p signifies the strength and continuity of the monarchy. Around the central motif is the denomination 20p, while the date 1984 is placed just below the rose. This design remained the standard reverse for 20p coins until the major coinage redesign in 2008. 5. Mintage figures and circulation. The Royal Mint produced millions of 20p coins dated 1984 for general circulation, though the exact mintage is lower than some later years. As the coin was still in its early years of introduction, the Mint ensured adequate supply to encourage widespread public usage. Unlike some other denominations, there were no major varieties or rare circulation errors known for the 1984 issue. Alongside standard circulation strikes, a number of proof coins and brilliant uncirculated coins were issued in annual collector sets. These special strikes were prepared with polished dies and carefully selected blanks, giving them a sharp, mirror-like finish. Collectability and value. In circulated condition, the 1984 20p coin usually retains only its face value due to its high mintage and wide availability. However, collectors value certain examples more highly, proof coins from the 1984 collector sets, which command premiums depending on condition. Brilliant uncirculated BU coins issued in presentation packs or mint sets. High-grade circulation strikes graded MS 65 or higher by professional services. Error coins, though uncommon, striking errors or die varieties from this year are especially collectible. On today's secondary market, proofs and BU examples can sell for several pounds, while ordinary circulation coins remain common. Preservation and care of the 1984 coin. For numismatists and casual collectors alike, proper preservation is crucial. Copper-nickel coins like the 1984 20p are resistant to corrosion but can tarnish or develop handling marks. Coins should not be polished or cleaned, as this damages the natural surfaces and reduces collector value. Instead, they should be stored in acid-free flips, hard plastic capsules, or protective folders. Proof versions require even greater care, as their polished fields are highly prone to scratches and fingerprints. Numismatic importance of the 1984 issue. The 1984 Elizabeth II 20p coin is significant because it is part of the earliest period of the denomination. Only the third year after the coin's debut in 1982 IT represents the transition period before the new obverse portrait by Raphael Maclauf was introduced in 1985. As such, the 1984 coin is the last 20p issue to bear Arnold Mackin's second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This gives it added interest to collectors who focus on portrait types within the Queen's long reign. For those building a complete series of 20p coins, the 1984 issue is essential as part of the early decimal era. Wider cultural and monetary role. Beyond numismatics, the 20p coin of 1984 reflects Britain's adjustment to the decimal system more than a decade after its adoption. By this point, the British public had fully embraced decimalization, and the 20p coin was proving itself as a practical and widely accepted denomination. Its small size, distinctive shape, and useful value made it a convenient everyday coin. Symbolically, its crowned Tudor rose linked modern currency to Britain's deep historical past, while its sleek modern shape reflected late 20th century innovation. The Elizabeth II 20p coin of 1984 is a copper-nickel, 7-sided decimal coin weighing 5.00 g and measuring 21.4 mm. It features Arnold Mackin's portrait of the Queen on the obverse, the final year this design appeared on the 20p, and William Gardner's crowned Tudor rose reverse. With millions minted for circulation, it is common in worn condition, but proof and BU examples are sought by collectors. Historically, it represents the early years of the 20p denomination and the last of the Mackin portrait coins, making it both historically and numismatically significant. Top 4. The 20p coin, 20p, first issued in 1982, had by 1990 become an established and familiar part of the United Kingdom's decimal coinage system. Queen Elizabeth II was in the 38th year of her reign, and the Royal Mint at Llantrisant, South Wales, was continuing to strike millions of these coins each year for everyday circulation. The coin of 1990 belongs to the first-generation design period of the denomination, which ran from 1982 until 2008, during which time the 20p carried the crowned Tudor rose reverse by William Gardner. The year 1990 is particularly significant in British numismatic history because it falls within the Maclauf portrait years, when Raphael Maclauf's more regal and idealized portrait of Elizabeth II was used on the obverse of most coins. Metal composition and dimensions. The 1990 20p coin is struck in copper-nickel composed of 84% copper and 16% nickel. This durable alloy gives the coin its pale silvery appearance and strong resistance to everyday wear. The coin has a weight of 5.00 grams, a diameter of 21.40 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.7 millimeters. The most distinctive feature, however, is its equilateral heptagonal shape, 7 sides with equal length and curved edges. Despite this unusual geometry, the coin has a constant diameter across its surface, meaning it functions reliably in vending machines and coin slots. The design makes it instantly recognizable by touch and sight, setting it apart from round coins of similar size. Obverse design. The Maclauf portrait. The obverse, front, of the 1990 coin bears the third official portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Raphael Maclauf, FRSA. This effigy was introduced in 1985 and continued to appear on British coinage until 1997. Maclauf's design portrays the Queen facing right, wearing the George IV state diadem, a crown encrusted with pearls and jewels that she traditionally wore at the annual state opening of Parliament. Unlike the more naturalistic earlier portraits, Maclauf's version is slightly idealized, presenting the Queen as timeless and majestic. Around the portrait is the Latin legend Elizabeth II D.G. Reg. F.A.D. 1990N. Abbreviation of Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The designer's initials RDM appear discreetly on the portrait. Reverse design. The Tudor rose. The reverse, back, design is the famous crowned Tudor rose by William Gardner, a heraldic emblem deeply rooted in English history. The Tudor rose symbolizes the union of the red rose of Lancaster and the white rose of York, brought together by the marriage of Henry VII and Elizabeth of York after the Wars of the Roses. Atop the rose sits a crown, symbolizing monarchy and continuity. Around the central motif is the inscription 20 pence, while the date 1990 is placed just below the rose. This reverse was used on all 20p coins from the first issue in 1982 until 2008, when it was replaced with Matthew Dent's Royal Shield design. Mintage and circulation. The Royal Mint produced a large quantity of 20p coins dated 1990, with mintage figures well into the tens of millions, ensuring they were widely available in circulation across the UK. The denomination was by then fully integrated into everyday commerce, and the 20p was valued as a handy coin that prevented the need to carry excessive smaller denominations. Alongside circulation strikes, the Royal Mint also issued proof coins in collector sets, struck with polished dies and special blanks to achieve a mirror-like finish, as well as brilliant uncirculated BU coins in annual mint sets. Collector value and market interest. Because the 1990 20p coin had such a high circulation mintage, in circulated condition it generally carries only its face value of 20 pence. However, collector value increases for proof issues from official 1990 collector sets, which are scarcer and sought after. Brilliant uncirculated coins, which may retain full mint luster and sharp detailed, high-grade circulation strikes, graded MS 65 or higher, error coins, such as misstrikes, clipped planchets, or die rotation errors, which are rare and can command significant premiums, while ordinary examples remain. Very common, pristine, or unusual variants attract strong collector interest. Storage and preservation. For numismatists, proper storage of the 1990 20p coin is essential. Although copper-nickel is robust and resists corrosion, it can develop tarnish or pick up scratches from circulation. Coins should not be polished, as this damages the surface and diminishes collector value. Instead, they should be kept in dry, inert holders such as acid-free cardboard flips, clear acrylic capsules, or official coin albums. Proof versions are especially delicate with mirror-like fields that can scratch easily, so they must be handled carefully with gloves or kept sealed in their original cases. Numismatic and historical importance. The 1990 Elizabeth II 20p coin holds an important place in the history of British decimal coinage. It reflects the Maklauf era of portraits, which presented the Queen in a more stately and regal style, contrasting with the more naturalistic Mackin portrait that preceded it. The coin also represents the middle period of the 20p denomination, when it was firmly established as a vital part of everyday currency. While not rare in itself, the coin is essential to a complete date run of the 20p series, and to collections focusing on the various obverse portraits of Queen Elizabeth II. Cultural significance of the design. The crowned Tudor rose design used on the reverse connects the coinage of modern Britain to its medieval and Tudor past, symbolizing unity and continuity of monarchy. By 1990, Britain was approaching the final decade of the 20th century, and its coinage represented both tradition and innovation. The Queen's portrait, designed to look timeless, reflects the enduring role of the monarchy, while the innovative seven-sided shape symbolizes a forward-looking decimal system. The Elizabeth II 20 pence coin of 1990 is a copper-nickel, seven-sided coin weighing 5.00 g and measuring 21.4 millimeters. It features the Raphael Maklauf obverse portrait of the Queen wearing the George IV state diadem, with the inscription Elizabeth II D.G. Reg. F.O.D. 1990. The reverse depicts the crowned Tudor rose by William Gardner, with the date below. With a mintage in the tens of millions, the coin is common in circulation but valued by collectors in proof, BU, and high-grade forms. It represents both Britain's Tudor heritage and its modern decimal coinage system, standing as a significant part of the Elizabeth II series. Top 5. The 20 pence coin, introduced in 1982, had by 1999 become an entirely familiar part of British life. The United Kingdom had been using decimal currency for nearly 3 decades, and the 20p was one of the most practical and recognizable denominations in daily use. By 1999, Queen Elizabeth II was in the 47th year of her reign, and the Royal Mint continued striking vast numbers of these coins to meet circulation demand. The year 1999 falls into the fourth obverse portrait era of Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, which began in 1998. This portrait was considered more realistic and mature than previous effigies, making the 1999 coin one of the early issues to bear this newer design. Composition, shape, and physical details. The 1999 20p coin was struck in copper-nickel, a durable alloy made of 84% copper and 16% nickel, which gives the coin its light silver-gray appearance. The coin weighs 5.00 grams, measures 21.40 millimeters in diameter, and is 1.7 millimeters thick. One of the most distinctive features of the 20p is its equilateral heptagonal shape, a seven-sided design with equal-length curved sides. This geometric form makes the coin unique to the touch, instantly recognizable without sight, and compatible with vending machines, as it maintains a constant diameter across its surface despite its unusual shape. The shape itself was a revolutionary innovation when the denomination was introduced in 1982, and by 1999 it had become iconic. Obverse design Ian Rank. Broadly portrait. The obverse, front, of the 1999 20p coin features the fourth official portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Ian Rank Broadly FRBS, introduced in 1998. This effigy marked a departure from earlier idealized images of the Queen. Instead, it shows a more realistic and natural depiction of Elizabeth II, highlighting her age with maturity and dignity in this portrait. The Queen faces right and wears the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her most recognizable jewels. Originally a wedding gift to Queen Mary, around the portrait runs the Latin inscription, Elizabeth, 2 UD Reg, FAD, 1999, which expands to Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen Defender of the Faith. Rank Broadly's initials, IRB, can be seen beneath the portrait, near the Queen's neckline. Reverse design crowned Tudor rose. The reverse, back, design of the 1999 20p coin is the same as that used since the denomination's introduction in 1982, designed by William Gardner. It features the Tudor rose, a powerful emblem of English unity dating from the end of the Wars of the Roses in the 15th century. The Tudor rose combines the red rose of Lancaster and the white rose of York, symbolizing reconciliation between the rival houses. Above the rose is a royal crown, signifying monarchy, strength, and continuity. The surrounding inscription reads 20 pence, while the date 1999 is positioned just below the rose. This classic reverse remained unchanged until 2008, when the coin underwent a major redesign as part of the Royal Shield series. Mintage and production. The Royal Mint struck a large mintage of 20p coins in 1999, numbering in the tens of millions, making the coin extremely common in circulation. These coins were issued primarily for everyday use, ensuring widespread availability, in addition to circulation strikes. The Royal Mint also issued proof coins for inclusion in collector sets and brilliant uncirculated BU coins in annual mint packs. These specially prepared strikes were made with polished dies and carefully selected blanks, resulting in coins with sharper detail and a more attractive finish. Collectability and value. Because the 1999 20p coin was struck in such large numbers, circulated examples generally carry only their face value of 20 pence. However, there are certain collectible categories that can add value. Proof coins, which are rarer and valued for their mirror-like finish. Brilliant uncirculated BU coins, which can retain mint luster and crisp details. High-grade circulation strikes graded MS 65 or higher by professional services, which may command premiums from dedicated collectors. Error coins, such as double strikes, off-center strikes, or clipped planchets, which are rare but highly sought after. While the 1999 issue does not contain any famous varieties like the undated 2008 20p mule error, it remains an important year because it represents one of the earliest uses of Ian Rank Broadly's new portrait on the denomination. Care and preservation. Copper-nickel coins like the 1999 20p are resistant to corrosion, but they can still tarnish or lose luster over time. To preserve their condition, collectors should avoid cleaning them, as this damages the natural surfaces and reduces value. Instead, coins should be stored in dry, protective holders such as mylar flips, hard plastic capsules, or official coin albums. Proof and BU coins require special care, as their polished surfaces and sharp details are easily marred by fingerprints, scratches, or dust. Numismatic importance of the 1999 20p. The 1999 issue holds special importance within the 20p series because it is one of the earliest coins to feature the Ian Rank Broadly portrait, which replaced Raphael Maclauf's design in 1998. This makes it part of a transitional period in Queen Elizabeth II's numismatic history. Marking a shift toward greater realism in her depictions, the coin also stands as part of the long run of Tudor rose reverses that dominated the first 26 years of the denomination. As such, it is essential to collectors building a date-by-date set or those focusing on the different portrait types of Elizabeth II's reign. Cultural and monetary role. In 1999, the 20p coin was not just a piece of currency but also a symbol of stability in the British monetary system. Its crowned Tudor rose design linked the coinage of modern Britain to its medieval past, while the newer rank broadly portrait reflected the changing image of the monarchy at the close of the 20th century. Practically speaking, the coin continued to serve as one of the most useful denominations in circulation, bridging the gap between small-value coins and higher denominations like the 50p and £1. The Elizabeth II 20-pence coin of 1999 is a copper-nickel, 7-sided decimal coin weighing 5.00 g and measuring 21.4 mm. It features the Ian Rank broadly portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, showing her in the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, with a Latin legend Elizabeth II D.G. Reg. FOD. 1999. The reverse depicts the crowned Tudor rose by William Gardner, with the denomination and date. With a large circulation mintage, the coin is common in everyday use but is valued in proof, BU, and high-grade examples. Historically, it represents one of the first full years of the rank broadly portrait on British coinage, making it an important transitional issue in the series. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe my channel for more videos.